Adolescents' everyday habits can strongly impact their mental and physical well-being. With record levels of anxiety, depression, and suicide rates paired with an increase of substance abuse, we wanted to try and find a way to help teenagers with both overcoming harmful habits and finding positive replacements. Our presentation analyzes data from journal articles to support the effects of these habits on stress, mood, health, and brain physiology of adolescents.
Meditation has many benefits, allowing adolescents to maintain good habits. One article discussed its effects on relieving nurses' stress. Meditation significantly impacted their stress relief, with all the nurses affirming that meditation helped them. Another article reviewed the effects of meditation on adolescent stress and attention during school. Stress levels minimally decreased with meditation, but they found attention levels increased, which caused an improvement in their grades. A third article expounded on the effects of meditation on adolescents undergoing cancer treatment. Its focuses included fatigue, fitness, sleep quality, anxiety, and appetite.
Similar to meditation, practicing and listening to instrumental music presents many cognitive benefits. Musicians have more symmetry in each hemisphere's arcuate fasciculus compared to non-musicians, yielding a more creative brain. Regular music practice leads to an increase in neuroplasticity because of more efficient gray matter volume association. As a result, musicians have increased cognitive ability in late life compared to non-musicians, decreasing likelihood of mental disorders. Listening to music increases temporal alignment by increasing dipole amplitudes and synchronizing brain impulses in the auditory cortex. Positive effects are seen physically too. A study conducted by Curious found that on average, blood pressure decreased by 5 millimeters mercury and heart rate decreased by 2.4 beats per minute after listening to Om chanting.
Like music, reading is an essential activity that can have a significant impact on overall well-being. Research gathered by Jackson Wagstaff of BYU shows that developing a reading habit can enhance thinking, improving science scores by 1.71%, math by 4.43%, and history by 2.05%. Moreover, a study by Fawn et al. Found that habitual reading increases gray matter volume in reading-related areas of the brain by up to 5%. However, environmental factors can hinder the development of reading habits in children, shown by Ahmad et al. Parents can promote reading by minimizing screen time and rewarding their children for reading. In contrast, social media serves as a foil to the benefits conferred by reading.
On the topic of social media, two main layers of articles were researched. What causes social media disorder, abbreviated SMD, and what are the benefits of removing social media? SMDs are caused by the amygdala-stradial system, which rewards good behavior and can lead to addiction through phone chimes after the connection is made in your brain. Removing social media can increase productivity, decrease stress, and improve social interactions. On the topic of technology, extensive video game use is more problematic in regards to physical health.
When studying the effects of video games on eyesight, DES, or dry eye syndrome, was a topic that was brought up several times. This is a syndrome where the outer layer of the eye dries out due to prolonged exposure to a screen, commonly from playing video games for too long and too often. The closer the screen is to the user's face, the greater the risk of contracting DES becomes. Light from phones or computer screens can also disrupt sleep cycles, though the exact mechanism is not yet known. A comprehensive literature review theorized that the blue light coming from the screen could be overstimulating the brain, preventing the pineal gland from secreting melatonin and throwing off the body's circadian rhythm.
Sleep deprivation has been shown to increase the risk of weight gain and obesity. In a study by Rafat Anam, an average sleep duration of fewer than 7 hours correlated with a 73% more likelihood of being obese. This is explained by circadian misalignment, which, in a study by Chaput, has resulted in a higher daily energy expenditure in participants by around 5%. Without outside control over their diets, participants were also shown to increase their energy intake by nearly 20%, resulting in a positive energy balance. This is due to an increase in the secretion of appetite hormone ghrelin and a reduction in satiation hormones leptin and PYY. The weight gain caused by this positive energy balance can lead to obstructive sleep apnea, further lowering the quality and duration of sleep.
The gut microbiome is affected by what you ingest. When the microbiome is in a balanced state, otherwise known as eubiosis, it leads to overall improved health. Eating foods which are high in vitamin D, such as salmon, promotes eubiosis and therefore decreases inflammation and chronic disease risk. The microbiota of the gut constantly produce metabolic byproducts such as short-chain fatty acids. As these concentrations change, other body systems, such as the HPA axis, are influenced. When the microbiome is in eubiosis, the HPA axis specifically is suppressed, which decreases stress.
Social isolation can lead to negative mental and physical effects. Isolation causes an activation of the HPA axis. This means there is an increase in cortisol, a stress hormone. Hyperactivity of the HPA axis can lead to depression, anxiety, and even disruptions in the menstrual cycle. Orbit and others reviewed a rodent model that showed isolation causes changes in the dopamine and serotonin systems, which can lead to increased anxiety. There was also change in the motivation and reward processes, which correlate to an increased risk of addiction. Additionally, isolation can lead to impaired learning, creating a vicious cycle for socializing as an adolescent. Social interaction can encourage adolescents to exercise. Additionally, solitary activities are often sedentary activities. As a result, isolation can lead to increased BMI.
Family functioning is another important social factor in adolescents' lives. There are 3 parts of family functioning that dictate adolescent happiness: cohesion, communication, and conflict. Lower socioeconomic status correlates with worse family functioning and access to educational resources. This leads to worse adolescent mental health and increased verbal and physical conflict. Divorce increases various adolescent risks, such as depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation, poor school performance, substance abuse, issues internalizing and externalizing problems, and lower socioeconomic class. Brain connection pathways constantly reform during adolescence, causing volatile parts like the hippocampus to grow vulnerable to psychiatric and neurological disorders. Increased family conflict causes hippocampus orbital frontal cortex connectivity to suffer, leading to anxiety symptoms, major depressive disorder, and impaired memory recall and learning abilities.
Similarly, substance use disorders, or SUDs, can affect us on both a physical and mental level. Cocaine users are associated with blunted presynaptic striatal dopamine function, meaning their nervous system recognizes lower levels of dopamine than actually present. They also have an altered intracellular distribution of dopamine, or an unhealthy dispersion. A new treatment for SUDs is transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS, a non-invasive technique which sends magnetic pulses to the brain to stimulate specific areas. It will act as a replacement treatment for daily medicine, which athletes fear can hinder their performance. Finally, relapse is a normative part of recovery. While relapse is often viewed in a stigmatizing way, it is actually an opportunity to learn new techniques for battling SUDs.
A leading cause of SUD among adolescents is internalizing a negative body image. A positive correlation was seen between self-objectification and poor health-related lifestyle. Self-objectification is defined as valuing body appearance over body confidence, meaning you care about how you look more than how healthy your body actually is. In a study by Carvalho et al., 1,019 adolescents were tested and 75% of them showed dissatisfaction with their current body image. Internalizing a negative body image is more evident in adolescents because they are more vulnerable to pressures imposed by society, family, friends, and the media to reach the perfect body as a way of obtaining acceptance and social success. For both self-objectification and body dissatisfaction, a higher correlation was found among girls and boys.
To combat a negative body image, adolescents can engage in physical activity. Kelsey Logan and others found that those who participate in sports throughout middle and high school are significantly likelier to have lower BMI, lower waist circumference, greater physical activity levels, and healthier habits as an adult. Now relating to emotion, Elena Koch and others found that just general exercise significantly increases valence and positive emotions in adolescence. Finally, Grazia Magari and others found that in the absence of physical activity, psychological health was significantly lowered, proving that depression and anxiety decreased in the presence of consistent physical activity. Now, why is this? Any sort of physical activity leads to a controlled release of testosterone and a decrease of cortisol. In small amounts, testosterone significantly improves mood and can reduce symptoms of depression over time, while lower cortisol leads to decrease in stress.
As our research demonstrates, adolescents can ameliorate healthier lifestyles through consistent exercise and sleep, healthy eating, reading, and other positive habits, whilst avoiding negative habits such as excessive social media and drug use. Interventions promoting these positive habits should be further researched and explored.